I'm Brad with Senior Source. In my first video, I explained what I do and how I help families get clarity when senior living decisions feel overwhelming. Today, I want to talk about something I see all the time, especially when there's a deadline. The 3 biggest mistakes families make under pressure, and how to avoid them. Because here's the truth. When stress is high, people don't make bad decisions because they don't care. They make them because they're trying to protect someone they love, and fast, but with limited information. So if you're in that spot right now, you're certainly not alone. And by the end of this video, you'll have a simple way to slow down the chaos just enough to make a confident choice. Most families reach this point after something changes with a loved one. A fall, a hospital stay, a scary moment with memory, or caregiver burnout. And suddenly the question becomes, where do we put mom or dad, and how do we do it quickly? And that's when these mistakes happen. The first mistake is choosing based off availability and location instead of fit. When time is tight, the first thing families ask is, who has a room? And listen, that question matters, but it shouldn't be the only question we're asking. Because the real goal isn't just a place, it's the right level of care in a place that can support the needs day to day, not just on move-in day. Here's how the mistake shows up. You tour one place with an opening, and it feels good enough. You say yes because you're exhausted. And then 2 to 4 weeks later, you realize it's not the right fit. And now you're redoing the whole process again. Here's how to avoid it. I want you to ask one simple question on every tour. If mom declines a little, can you still support her here? Because needs can change fast. And if the answer is vague or the conversation gets slippery, that's a sign to slow down. The second mistake is being swayed by the tour instead of the reality. This one is huge. Tours are designed to show the best version of a community. And many places are truly good. So I'm not saying they're trying to trick you. But under pressure, families can fall into what I call the brochure trap. You see the lobby, you see the dining room, everyone's smiling, and you think, okay, this feels safe. But what matters most usually isn't the lobby. It's the daily reality. The response time when a resident needs help. Staffing consistency. How medication is handled. And how they communicate with the family. And how they handle different behaviors or confusion in memory care. Here's how to avoid it. On every tour, ask these 3 questions. What does a typical day look like for someone like my mom? How do you communicate changes to family? And how quickly does that happen? What happens if she needs more than she does today? And then this is key. Listen for the specifics, not sales language. The specifics are what's going to build the trust. The third mistake is trying to make the perfect decision. Because this one's emotional. Families want to get perfect because it feels like love, and I understand that. But perfection thinking creates paralysis. You keep researching, you keep reading reviews, you keep calling around, and the pressure builds. Then the decision becomes, if we choose wrong, we failed. And that's not true. Most of the time, the goal is not a perfect decision. The goal is a clear next decision that keeps your loved ones safe and gives your family the stability it needs. So try using this sentence as you move forward. We are choosing the best next step with the information we have today. That framing removes guilt, and it also replaces it with leadership. And then ask, What's the biggest safety risk right now? What level of care is most realistic? What budget range can we sustain? Who needs to be involved in this decision? And what does success look like 30 days after the move? Well, that's real clarity. Here's a few ways to help keep grounded. And these are the 3 filters I want you to use, so you may want to write these down. Can this place keep mom safe day to day? Do they have the staffing and systems to support her real needs? Can the family sustain this financially and emotionally? If the community you're in hits all 3, you're in the right zone. If one of the 3 is shaky, it doesn't always mean no, but it means we may need to ask some better questions before we decide. If you're in a tight timeline and you feel the pressure, here's what I want you to remember. You don't need more options, you need clearer questions and a calmer plan. Senior Source is a local, independent senior living advisor serving Kane, Kendall, and DuPage counties. If you need help getting clarity fast, reach out. Call or text me at 630-835-0355 or visit us online at ilseniorsource.com. You're doing this because you love them. Let's make sure you don't have to do it alone. Once again, I'm Brad Esposito, and I'll see you in the next video.